Suma for app ni eya ho mambo ne hweso pankwa na edimu obusua Suma for app ebehwe se hu nipa biara ohia yarehwe no yebekọ won ho ebise won apom yede won bekwa yaresabia ne yahwese won ho atom ansa na yefi won nchen enu ntitena adwumum ana tena kwantum na yensum wo enu ane se obefa wo phone na Google Play Store ana se App Store e wo iOS so na wo download the Suma for app isia pa ni ajoso.
Wow. Suma for fast and reliable.
Suma for app, sending love home.
Make we chop small. Delight Cocoa.
Delight Cocoa, the authentic, original taste of African porridge. Available in all African and Caribbean shops. Delight Cocoa.
About SBTV Africa, so thank God it's Friday. No be akwaba na say share screen so my baby we a live program option and live for your YouTube channel SBTV Africa, the voice of the community. So as soon as live on Facebook SBTV Africa page. You from DJ Nyame. So I be joining and there only say Fridays be an mini lawyer wisdom account Wiseman solicitors UK London and I'm in the program turning program every Fridays be it's starting at 5:30 GMT, but I need the I late kakra fan chain. I'm saying no, I go Studio B. Opio Studio B there time in the Mrs. It's many lawyer wisdom account. Many lawyer to train come about updates by concerning UK more person go UK more plans some go UK near there almost the laws be by say and the training from 2024 eBay almost the CKB toward £38,000. So more will be invited to by so necessary can one account money idea and here kwa penal lawyer can say oh same way no a back pot near idea and I say oh a back for man and then update the by a minute number be my lawyer wisdom account so when you have channel way so or share live or YouTube and make sure somebody tap subscribe share link in the movie will be ebi a won na UK na opako ba wo share e be bo obi ono person ko UK ana obi a na bibi wo UK ana obi a dachi bi person ko se na obi hu other matters apart from any no so no wo question bi obeso obisa lawyer o type wo comment section time no do a ye de beto screen so ono ankasa be kenkan na wo yi wa no nti make sure so the questions na be ba intem entwen ya say ye ba be pon na fe na say yentimi when ya no na minim say esa na but for questions the brand when you boss one no share wo Facebook share enko still share just share link ni give me share WhatsApp so Telegram among friends to so ma be team nko so na mo share like your page you know following SVTV am from DJ Nyame na ma me go straight I mean kasa be lawyer wisdom akawo e wa homa no so me ne nto so na yembisa no ne ekọ kosisi latest update aba say 38 na baso anasa no more anasa mo de basan because 38,000 ndi chale and the no mo de block say obi an because UK ho no minim dia eduma bi obi ya at the end of the year no timinya £38,000 the brain idea one bi no butiminya but en kra no is obo hard obo dagbo movement nti ma me ko straight am ni lawyer wisdom aka lawyer for
Before DJ Oha F1.
My where's all Happy New Year to everybody.
Many happy returns. Happy New Year to yourself, your family, your team, our listeners, everyone. Happy.
Many happy returns. Yeah, SBTV Africa fans, both new and old ones. We say Mao Wow. Akpe for supporting SBTV Africa brand no for supporting us Yamisha Mafisha pa enkobo bia me program no you start Christmas we nyina me making sure say me wish o hwa ba say me wish nti omo de omo ya de panti me fans no ye wish omo de bia nti e be koso a wish a new year ye be wish mu asa na ne da makoma so bia so nyankopon nyema mo lawyer And I want to play studio B one background answer.
Oh, DJ.
Lawyer Wisdom Akao or Benfo champion man.
Christmas, New Year, yeah, now studio, now is all the song.
Okay, lawyer, then go straight to the point. Lawyer Wisdom Akao, Wiseman solicitors. And then now, the kind of became command the breaking news about some time ago about 38,000. How can I say, oh, I don't court near there. Oh, they all can be a boom. See, and then they see.
Me da se pa tiefo na ye mama pe shepa the radia se send so dia chain aka just 2 days or so not just a year 2024 empire boss said nyame de na bekom safely yes wafa 2024 no mo na asomdwe ebeba ne eda wakoma so a ewo nyame akwan mo no ebema ne nyina ebeba se enye nyame akwan de ne ma ne ma ne papa no ane ne o nyame akwan na eno na esese ebem. All right. So yes, DJ Midasin. So I am always grateful to you for your support in every way. It's been interesting. We know agree. It's that grow. We are making impact and people are getting
Feedbacks. Yeah. I'm going for more.
Yeah. And I see say from being so on fanche nipa, but we hope to build on the good ones. And papa no forgive us and let's roll on into greater things. Straight to the point, yes. Announcement on the 4th of December, the Secretary of State, James Cleverly, that's his name, Clever. He does it very cleverly. And Odibo just said, by increasing the health and care for workers, their salary from whatever it was to £38,700. And the same way, so family visa route so person do yiri and also currently it is £18,600, but over March and so to the £38,700. And it was a breaking news. You and I did it, and I said 38,700 in the Everco court. And the court is the Home Office was likely to lose. Now, MSL Mama Nasi quickly, and among the Davy, and Pesabako court, litigation, na ye dream, I mean, train as Kase, na ye di coco back and forth and say, Oma revise it, that changes Nankam Babayano. And on the 21st of November, that is today is the 29th, that is 8 days ago. And Mr. Cleverly or signed it to just said, I me kind so me for now. Me kind said £38,700. Now, so we are going to do it in incremental stages. In other words, we're going to do it stage by stage by stage. Yeah, and muscle from 18,600 straight to the 38,000. And from spring, which is March this year, almost about 29,000 pounds. From the 8,600, almost they got 29,000 pounds. I don't know any easy. Almost a lot account. Almost 10,100 pounds in account. So from 18,600, almost they got 29,000 pounds. Then that is spring 2024. That is March. Then from a honor, setting another time frame. Normally they are called 34,500, and then after some time, they are called 38,700. The 38,700, on my margin say by all means, I may do. Now, so they call in stages 29, 34,5, 38,7. So it's going to be in 3 stages. So the first stage is going to start from March, that is spring 2024. That is when the first stage is going to be effective, from 18,600 to 29,000 pounds. So that is what it is. Now, the account is normally and I would do but not a the first child is 3,800 pounds. Second child near 2,400 pounds. The third child is £2,400. Near Omodiabas is saying is that there is not going to be a separate element for the children. No separate elements or financial requirement for the children. And nonti se udi wuma eba, as long as you meet the threshold of, let's say, £29,000, it means ubetime di wuma so edi account we are not going to ask for additional 3,800 or 2,400 for any subsequent child. But it is a very clever way of doing it because obi edi ne ma mmiɛnsa mpo ɛɛba a ɛde aka ɔbaa ne ho anaa ne papa ne ho de aba even if it is three children wode ka 18,600 ne ho a it comes up to around £27,000, 27 plus. And to wei no ɔmo ama so akɔ 29,000 it means that automatically they have captured all the children in that calculation. Very clever, very, very clever way of doing it by Mr. Cleverly. So that is what it is. So that is the information for us all to know. The change will come, but it will start in spring 2024 and it's going to go from 18,600 to 29,000. And then after a while, it will go to 34,500. And then the last lap will be 38,700 pounds. So they are certainly going to reach there, but they haven't given us the timeline for the second increment and then the third one. They haven't given us any details yet. So we are still waiting to see how that is going to go. But at least we know set the first change in it from spring 2024. So please bear in mind. So person will beat it that increment now. And no as a sorry application before March 2024. We are in January, February, you are okay. And even March, the date's never starting, we don't know yet. But assuming it is the 14th of March, we are just assuming. If it is the 14th of March, now with me your application, let's say by the 13th, the 12th, the 11th, the 10th, before the 14th, again, you will be captured under the old law, not under the new law. So we have to bear that in mind. So if you want to beat the changes, make sure you submit your application before the changes do take place. That is that. Then number two, the other thing is that those already on the family route visa will only apply the current minimum income requirements. In other words, only the new change will not affect you. And not so you carry on with the same route until you get your settlement. So those who are already in the UK will not be affected by the changes that will come to take place. So more dear, you still carry on with the old system or the current system. You still carry on with that until you get your settlement. And to me, say, hey, now is it going to affect us? Oh, they be not those who are already in the system. And no, you are protected by the transitional provision. The transitional provision which says new rule should not apply to you. Nyawa say no, and no, it should apply to you. That is the transitional provision. So you will not be affected by the changes that will come. The other category of people is they will not be affected if you are a new applicant. Okay, so assuming you are in one category, maybe you are on a student visa or you are on a health and care visa route, and now maybe minister of religion, and you want to switch to the spousal route, so as a spouse, no longer on the route on which you are. If you do it before the changes do take place, you will still be regarded under the current change, the current rule. But after the changes do take place, and that means you are switching from one category to another category or another route, then you will be affected by the changes if it is done after the changes do take place. Now, so those already in the UK on a family visa will only apply the current minimum income threshold. they will not be affected by the new income requirement. Now, if you are switching from one category to another category, you will be affected if the switch is after the changes do take place. In that case, you will be affected. But if you apply before the changes do take place, then you will not be affected by that. So let's bear that in mind. Let's bear that in mind. Very, very, very important. And only family root application with regards to the 18,600 and in addition to that, the when the 38,700 will take place. I've already said it's going to be 29,000. Then from 29, it will go to 34,500. Then from 34,500, it will go to 38,700. So that is how it's going to be 3 different stages. So we is here, you'll be under 18,600. We after March is going to be 29,000. Between 29,000 and the next stage, which is 35,400, 34,500, if you do it in between there, you'll be affected by the 29,000. If you do it after the changes come from 34 to 35 and to 39, again to 38,700, you'll be affected by the rule in place at the time is the rule that would apply to you. The rule in place at the time that you make your application is the rule that will apply to you. The rule in place now is 18,600. If it changes to 29,000, that will be the new rule. If you make your application then, that is what would apply to you, 29,000. If it changes to 34,500, that is what would apply to you. If that is when you make the application. If it changes to 38,700, that is what will apply to you. So the rule in place at the point in time is what would apply to your application. The application for your spouse, your partner, your children, that is a rule that will apply to them. But I have already mentioned there is no longer any additional element for children to be added to the financial requirements. No 3,800, no 2,400 for any subsequent children. So that is at least where we are right now. So see how my changes were. I still believe somebody may want to challenge the 29,000 because it's such a high thing, but let's wait and see. The next thing I want to put out is care workers. Care workers can no longer sponsor their children, their dependents from again spring, that is March 2024. Hence, all the additional changes be about. Mr. Cleverly has done it so cleverly again. This is what he's saying. In the plan, it was announced that the government plans to stop dependents of care workers coming and to require social care homes who wish to sponsor workers to be registered with the Care Quality Commission. Now, what they are saying is this: one, care workers and senior care workers already in the system can remain with their dependents and can bring their dependents. Care workers and senior care workers can continue to remain with their dependents who are already in the UK, and those that are not in the UK, they can still bring their dependents to the UK. So that is also some good news, some relief that care workers and senior care workers can still bring their children, their dependents, their wives, their partners to the UK. Individuals on any other route switching to a care worker route will not be able to stay with dependents or bring dependents to the UK. And to say, be a student, not or switching from the student route to the care worker route, they are saying when the law takes effect in spring, you cannot move to the care worker route with your dependents, with your children. You can't. So it is the best time to switch now before the changes come into play in March. So from March, you cannot switch from whichever route you are on to the care worker route and with your dependents. You can switch, but you cannot switch with your dependents. That is if the changes do take place. So that is what it is. And you cannot bring your dependents after the changes do take place. So that is for your information. So if you want to do it, this is the best time to do it so that you don't have to you don't have to get yourself into a very difficult situation. Now, the next question is, can providers sponsor workers in exclusively and non-regulated activities continue to bring people? Yes, what they are saying is, if you are a provider in an exclusively non-regulated sector, you can carry on, registry, bringing people. You can carry on doing that, but care quality, you don't have to register the Care Quality Commission. You cannot, you are not required to register with the Care Quality Commission. However, you will not be able to bring anybody in. So let me say that again. Providers, care providers who are working in non-regulated activity sector, they are not being regulated. You can carry on providing your service, but you will not be able to bring anybody to the UK. So what it means is, Obi Eba and you're a care provider, if you want to sponsor visas, then you have to have been registered with the Care Quality Commission before you can sponsor visa applications. Otherwise, yes, you can carry on providing your services, but you cannot bring anybody to the UK to work in that category. So that is also another update for you. Now it says there'll be an increase in minimum threshold, which we've been told already, to the 38,700 for the care workers. Education workers also, there's something there that will affect them. Those already on the skilled worker route before the changes will be exempt from the new salary threshold. So if you're already in the UK working as a carer and your pay is, let's say, £30,000, the provider is supposed to pay you £30,000. If the changes come into effect, that is from March, and they have to meet the salary threshold of 38,700, they will not be affected because they're already here under a different category. So they will not be affected with the requirement to provide or to meet the 38,700. They will not be required to do so. So that is what it is. They can continue to provide with the old, under the old scheme. That is, whatever amount they are supposed to pay you, they will pay you that, but not the new requirement of that, of the 38,700. So that is also another thing for you to take note of. One other very important change, and it's I haven't mentioned this on this program before, but I will mention it today. Now, when you go to the immigration rules, there are requirements for, if a soldier will be by UK, you have to meet the definition of who is a partner. A partner is a person who is your spouse, more marriage certificate that just or your spouse. That is your spouse. As long as there's a marriage certificate, the person meets the definition of a spouse. Number two, or civil partner, that is same-sex couples, gay and lesbian who are same-sex couples. They are referred to as civil partnership. Civil partnership. They are also defined under the GEN 1.2 as partners. And then the next one is a fiancé or a fiance or a proposed civil partner. In other words, boyfriend, girlfriend in a durable relationship, and you have the intention of getting married. If there is evidence to show that, then of course the person is your fiance or your fiancé. If that is what it is, you can also meet the definition of a partner under GEN 1.2, Appendix GEN 1.2 to the immigration rules. You are also defined and regarded as a partner. And also the fourth category, a person who has been living with you for a duration of 2 years in a relationship which is like marriage or which is equal to marriage. And this is when you'll be not together for 2 years. We are in a relationship here. In that case, you have to prove somewhat not together for 2 years. The last definition, D no a honor and aba The A stands the same, B stands unchanged, C stands unchanged, but the D is going to change from the 31st of January 2024 to the 31st of January 2024. Now, what the change is that there will no longer be any requirement for the couple to have been living together for at least 2 years. If the parties can show a relationship similar to marriage or sole partnership to have existed for at least the period they are relying on, then that is enough evidence to say there is a genuine and a subsistent relationship and you meet the definition of a partner. Let me bring it down to simple explanation. Set kojo any ama kojo any ama and kofi any ama atena ase together anaasɛ nyɛ sɛ wɔte together mpo kofi wɔ North London ama wɔ South London nanso there is a genuine relationship, text messages wɔ hɔ, emails wɔ hɔ, calls ɛwɔ hɔ, photographs, pictures, different occasions. The thing shows that there is a genuine and a subsistent relationship. Someone's not together for 2 years in poor. Actually, with evidence that we have been dating, we are in a relationship for 2 years, for let's say 8 months, 9 months, 10 months, 11 months, 12 months, 13 months or so, and no pono, the law says it should be regarded as meeting the definition of a partner. You do not have to show 2 years anymore from the 31st of January 2024. In other words, from the 1st of February 2024, you do not have to live together for 2 years. You don't. It can be 8 months, it can be 6 months, it can be 10 months, it can be 12 months, it can be 2 years, but anything between 0 up to 2 years, provided you can prove with the supporting evidence that there is a genuine and subsistent relationship going on, you are able to rely on that as a partner to this person. So that is also an excellent development in the law, which is going to take effect because some people have been in a relationship for, let's say, 8 months, 1 year, but because they have not been in a relationship for 2 years, they are not able to prove. But now the law is changing to say you do not have to show 2 years cohabitation. You don't. You can show for any period that you want to rely on, from when you first met, when the relationship started, when you did, and then so that's the two key questions. When did you first meet? When did the relationship start? And is the relationship continuing up to the date that you want to rely on? If it is so, what evidence do you have? I've mentioned a few already. If you can provide this, yes, you can rely on that as a proof to make your application as a partner. But if you are in the UK lawfully, then you can switch to a partner route. But if you are not in the UK lawfully, then you need exception 1, which is a child, or exception 2, which is a medical condition or insurmountable obstacle. If you can show this, then I can tell you you meet the definition of a partner under GEN 1.2. Marriage, civil partner, fiancé, fiance, proposed civil partner. A person you've been living together with for 2 years is now going to change to less than 2 years once you can prove that there's a genuine and subsistent relationship going on. So with this, I would say these are the changes that are coming in. One very important change I want to put out here before Yebokoson is there was some time ago now the government wanted to deprive so a British passport now Okoye Bonibia umbetimi eji passport no womrekwa omo nka njiro mpo so mo British passport nti e want to kwan wako Ghana and wako Nigeria wonim say okra British passport wabado Heathrow airport now mo say sorry the British passport na etwam because of XYZ a court and court the upper tribunal has decided said yes, the Home Office can deprive you of your British citizenship without telling you. Omo nka njiro say ya twa passport no and I do British passport na film on some. Ni enti omo ka say say ebinumu you very smart. So if occasion is say you will try British passport because of XYZ. Sani Panama could renounce his citizenship in the other country. Example, I'm just using Ghana as an example. Example, assume that the person is a Ghanaian. na yɛaka kyerɛ sɛ wabɛyɛ bɔne bi nti yɛba wo British passport ɔbɛtumi akɔ renounce ne Ghanaian citizenship sɛ menyɛ Ghanani biom, and so ɔnyɛ Ghanani biom a the UK has nowhere to send that person. In other words, the person will become stateless, and the laws do not require that you make a person stateless. And because once they renounce their citizenship of the other country, the Home Office will not be able to send them to that country. That is why the court is saying, "Se nepano muka kyerɛ no na ɔbɛkɔ akɔ renouncing the citizenship in another country, now he becomes a UK citizen. Munya biribi amfa no nkɔ no, ma monka nkyerɛ no, he should not be informed. And once they are not in the known, they cannot renounce the citizenship of the other country. So once they revoke your UK passport, they can carry you and take you back to the other country of which you are a national. So that is what it is. So I've talked about a few changes that are coming up, very, very important changes. The 18,600 is going to go to 29,000. From 29,000, it will go to 34,500. From 34,000, it will go to 38,700. Those who are already in the UK are not affected. Those who are coming before that will not be affected. Those who will be coming after the date changes will be affected. And you'll be affected by the law in change at the point in time. So if it changes from 18.6 to 29, you'll be affected by the 29. If it changes from 29 to 34.5, you'll be affected by 34.5. If it changes from 34.5 to 38.7, you'll be affected by that. We are still waiting to see if there'll be some litigation on this case, and I will let you know. And I've also talked about those already in the system are not affected. And a health and care for workers, no, you will also not be able to bring your family. If you are not a care worker and you are not a senior care worker, you cannot. But if you're a care worker plus a senior care worker, you will be able to bring your family to the UK even after the changes do take place. And of course, your money is going to go up. I'm just summarizing all that I've talked about. Your money is going to go up to 38,700. Those who are already in the system, you don't have to meet the 38,700 requirements. You don't have to because you are already here. But those who are changing from one route to another, from student to health and care, from let's say from the graduate route to the health and care, from parent route to the health and care, if you are switching, then you will be affected by the changes that will take place from spring if the financial requirements do change. So generally, these are the changes that I thought I should let you have. Then we would also summarize the cases we have done, the topics we've treated in the year. I'll go through with you, but I am open to take questions now. DJ, I can take any questions that are available. Then when we have time, we'll summarize all the topics we dealt with in the year, and then we'll see what is going to happen 2024. Thank you so much, DJ Nyami, for your help and your assistance as always. Over to you, DJ. Okay, I think I will continue a bit. I'm sure DJ is monitoring the whole thing, but DJ, if you are listening to me, you have done the updates. If you have questions, I'm more than happy to take them. If not, I would go on to the topics we treated during the year. So we looked at visa application for spouses, a spouse and maybe your husband, you want to bring your husband or you want to bring your wife. We looked at that during the year and we said before you can bring a person to settle with you in the UK, you need to meet the definition of a partner. You must be either a British citizen or a person who has indefinite leave to remain, or an EU national that has the pre-settled status or they have the settled status. Such categories of people are able to bring their husbands or their wives to the UK to live with them. And we talked about the requirements. We talked about the relationship requirements, immigration status, financial requirements, and also we talked about the English language requirement. We said the relationship, you have to prove that there is a genuine and subsistent relationship going on. So how do you prove? We talked about phone calls, WhatsApp messages, emails, text messages. We talked about greeting cards, visit to Ghana to see the person and take some pictures with the person. I was against the position where you just go and meet the person the first time and then you get married. However, I um, have been tutored to revise that position because people genuinely meet the person the first time and they like them. Meanwhile, the relationship had already started. So the relationship started about 8 months ago. They were communicating, chatting, etc., etc. The two persons have decided to get married. So by the time the man goes or the woman goes, they've already had evidence of a very solid relationship. In that case, when they go, then they get married, and the other party can join you in the UK. So that is just to prove the relationship. Then from there, we talked about the, of course, the financial requirements, and that is what I've just given you a bit of updates on. The financial requirement as it stands today is the £18,600. £18,600, but it's going to change to £29,000 in spring, and then it will change to £34,000, 34,500 later, and then eventually to £38,700. So that is with the financial requirement. If you want to beat that change or those changes, please submit your application before the fees do change from spring 2024. Now, we also looked at the English language requirement. If a person has a first degree and they can produce their transcript and their certificate to NARIC, N-A, it used to be NARIC, but it's now ECTIS, ECCTIS. If you can send this to ECTIS for them to verify or to confirm that the degree is equivalent to a degree in the UK, in that case, you are able to progress with that application.
Lawyer, obi se mi ntwa wa no so obi se brofo na doso. Te so.
But yo say over to me actually say when the urbano relationship wo montam modern komo WhatsApp messages, emails, text messages, human greeting cards, Christmas abe, why a shipping box with your call or anything was so what me actually say or no and na when no edi nkitahodie say mo person worry I know your evidence and no chere say there's a relationship because a genuine and subsistent. If your money transfer so one money in sika kakra. Normally, say my money na money and money sika. See, obani will krum ha and normally no and yet compulsory say obani be money or be money sika. Or the money na end ye fine. Particularly say nipan ye juma kakra bi ofia ono aje ni sika. And yet by all means say by all means as I say money papa ni sika. But normally, the money is so krum ha. A year jango, or money jumo or nye jumo. By all means, papa money, mammy be big cry and till honor sanity. And not my call an only relationship. If you are, you can say effort English language requirement. Yes, say, oh, degree, first degree, or university, or Ghana, over to me decide degree certificates. No, and the break company be UK from Actis. ECCTIS. And you spell it ECCTIS. Who so far? Who online so wait me as send you documents no. No way share almost say can convention I just degree now work no Ghana no. Legitimate UK has said okay. And with that acceptance no. And here set obey sa English language test review. And so English language no. So when the first degree and yes, a ultra English language test no level A1. And yes, social na culture and yet paper and yet fin culture long essay baby. Nya we yan say I want person mo say some can brofuna wuti ase and almost omuka onso wuti ase wait me amount response and I reply. I wait me amount mwaye. So sa na chia and there actually say what pass the English language test no. A level A1. Sa upe sa uye na upasi a Who phone called Google. So now our internet are called Google. Now enter English language level A1. English language level A1. English language level A1. Enter it in YouTube. We call YouTuber. Fashion a ɛbɛyi tapes ne bi ama ɛbɛyi videos ne bi ama wo na wabɔ saa watie questions a wɔbisa no na wabɔ ne over and over na kyerɛ sɛ akwa you get used to it ɔn sɛ borɔfo no ebi a yɛte ebi a wote meka nanso ɔmo accent no na ɛyɛ a sometimes ɛha adwen ekurom ha no sɛ obi woba first a yɛkasa a gye sɛ woyɛ wonye w'aso so ansa no wate ɛsɛ hello mate near hello mate, M-A-T, hello friend, that's it. But on kind of hello mate, and I won't say. As time goes on, then you get to understand it what it means. The same way now, with seeing or YouTube so over and over and over, you would understand the accent. You can understand the English, but sometimes the accent is what beats you. But so what say accent in the sound will play over and over, Nyomba can overtake. Who cause our test now? 5 minutes we 10 minutes we know it may if you are what passing because what seeing over and over and over and to call a very decent commodity hello I'm maybe so question this and now I'm about with be actual not won't see or responding and very easy but so one yen is who could do what accent no about how now one shall not fail and to place 2024 members will be ever failing I don't see yes if you want so we Sikani Dawson application fee is Dawson is almost £4,000 for the government alone. Now open in Tama additional £500. That makes about 4,500 a little under that. And son which I will lawyer and fee. Well now almost £5,000 and over. So one year preparation ye not your refuse application as na one shana akɔhyegu ɛna ebi bɛhyegu application fee no ɛbɛhyegu yɛmpɛ sɛ obiara sika ɛbɛhyegu no nti yɛsrɛ mo sɛ wayɛ w'adwene sɛ woba abɛka wo kunu anaa wo yere ho wɔ kurom ha phone a ɛkora no mɛmfa nyɛ just chatting on the phone just chatting go to YouTube nefa English language level A1 ɛhyɛ YouTube hɔ ɛbɛtwe videos na ma you hear it over and over na wehu te sɛ nea ɔmo kasa a wo nso wo ne ɔmo ɛtumi ama response and no any English test no. And then you come to we have to look at the R we look at relationship we look at the immigration status which is outside the UK there share financial requirements and share English language requirement and then accommodation so it says oh enough accommodation ama so yiri ana wo kunu ana emofra wo ne mofra ne ba wobɛtumi anya baabi a wobɛtena a ɛnkɔ ha adwen so saa na ɛhɔ no ɛte so we looked at that evidence 6 months payslip bank statement tenancy agreement communication pictures evidence to prove that there's a genuine relationship you can all about this in fact this year set next year you console into 2024 me did say we'll be looking at it again set this is cycle for the bar you better so na yama omwaswati Yakasa also about visit visas. Visit visas are refuse. Home office for them says refuse visit visa. Want to mean fan ko bibia, want to mean fan court, want to mean judicial review, want to mean administrative review. I don't take refuse you are now for fraud. They keep refusing. It's just going around in circles because someone himself want to mean fan court. I don't see a guy said. So person you visit visa application now. Make sure sir will visit visa your bank statement. I'm sorry, your bank statement is solid. Solid. Sikana a woman wabo more than that convert Sikano into pound sterling. Never someone say saying maybe I over 20,000 Ghana cedis. Who the bar pound sterling smart? Maybe I am £900 or £1,000. The question is, so who crowd £1,000? Now person over for visit. How long? How many weeks are you coming from? How many days are you coming from? Plain fair no saying, how much are you going to spend on shopping? Saying number spending on feeding. Already the £1,000 and yet enough. So one answer so share say how much na me work me the back pounds more Send a message for transport, etc. So travel costs, plane ticket, and everything. How much would I spend? And I'm bet me have say now, who £1,000 savings? I don't know person over spending all your £1,000 in the UK over just 2 weeks. Maybe that £1,000 has been your 5 years savings. Normal business, why do you want to come and spend? So you have to have a good reason in tier to person over UK. If you have back for tourists and every visa, so over to me actually, then you have a good reason. You can also about bank statements. Yeah, applications. Yes, see, sometimes the bank statements are faulty. Documents now was to know, figures now was to know, yeah, not a forgery. Sometimes it's not genuine. And Mr. Mikael said, DJ Nyame also said the documents, the bank statement should be legit. Hey, if you're a businessman, one kasau business account and then one kasau personal account. Now, business it reflects in your personal account. The pay slips and everything is there to reflect, say, the business pays you this amount of money. The business let's say 5,000 cities every month. Every month on the 25th or 28th of every month, that money leaves into your account. So that is your personal account, which is separate from the business account. Don't just merge everything together. We understand. A business nisika and you sika. Even though you want a business, no. Nkurɔfoɔ yi deɛ wɔpɛ biribi agyina so na de refuse wo deda nti wode nhoma wɔ mu a ɔmbɛdofodofo paa a ɔmbɛrefuse application. Meanwhile sika na wɔkyia deɛ ɔmo agye edi ɔmo mfa ɛma wo bank nti account no is very very important. Bombarding make sure say our accounts are in good order. Yakasa about appeals, 20 years long residence application. Say obi at na UK ha 20 years. Now who evidence of which say when I was not come for 20 years. So would you be crowd tampo na aye juma? There's a case of Mahmoud. Mahmoud say who the obi crowd aye juma for false identification aye juma mpo. Now but me say one na udi aye juma. Ebia within the ID cards no so. So what me actually say and yeah, over to me na so na no so would actually say una would decide way the application. 20 years when you are sitting there. Yeah, as I saw, ebia Kofi 5 years, yeah, 10 years, Ojo 2.5 years, another one until the year so not 20 years now so. And also over to me so the application other appendix PL to the immigration rules and also when you are sitting there. You can also about appendix FM section LTRPT parent. So we are ubi from her not uba with this 7 years and I'll bring a British citizenship. Ubet me fine ubana so Eddie Anya was sitting a chrome ha. Even though said Abofrano onyandi 10 and onyandi British by virtue of the other parent citizenship. As long as Abofrano did 7 years now, ubet me fine so Eddie Anya was sitting. But or 1 year mpo not our British passport and also ubet me fine so Eddie Anya was sitting a chrome ha. So that is what it is with regards to Appendix FM section LTRPT. And then also Yakasa about Appendix FM section LTRP. There's a difference between P and PT. PT is parent and P is a partner. And then say yes, you can say what to me or you so ukunusu provided so what sits now with chroma with me switchy from near one partner route so also ubenya was sits now a chroma. It is will be a student, not so person switch kwani baswa a kwanda how wet me switch. Nebano befan and Nibanti or Banya sit na a chrome ha. Now say Uba, no you're British. Now so with this 7 years of chrome ha. And non so wet me for one so now woody and ya sit na a chrome ha. So that is what it is. Yakasa about one other rule said, Avia will be a British citizen. Abofrani a British citizen and ni papa na mama outside the UK. Abofrani a British UK. Ni papa no outside. Or person baba kind of man who possible and I know see I can want some say yes and Branama who's going to say so oba no bani a British or banu UK ha. Only Abofrani contact. And now only Abofrani mama and ni papa. Agreement say me ba no be share me bay. Maybe share no I'll be dependent on I would have contact with this child. With me in Apple school, I can find it through school, GP, and then I'll be involved in the child's life. sa agreement no wɔ hɔ a wobɛtumi agyina saa agreement no so anaa wobɛtumi agye court order a ɛkyerɛ sɛ ampa you have contact with this child in the UK. And also, as I saw when you be aware of accommodation, as so just over Juma and now about when you Juma, I UK for benefits. And so it's just, and I also as well pass the English language test level A1. So let me actually sign you away. Yes, I will find until one chain work on now. So let me up on the suit now with the UK ha na Babatina Akrum ha. So that is a honso, Sakwan, so a Quenyan, so a very, very important. Yes, we can say about indefinite leave to remain applications. And Mofra, ya warm UK. And Rana say, one with 7 years, yeah, what one UK, no, what with 7 years, yeah, 2.5 years, and money bill, and yet 2.5 years near Germany bill. Yeah, you British indefinite amount straight away. Yes, yeah, Brit indefinite amabofano. So one will chrome her and dear. Now with this 7 years, straight away, yeah, indefinite amabofano. But so what did it buy ye? You won't Ghana and I wouldn't abacrum her. I don't know one G indefinite no. I don't know already 2.5 years, 2.5 years, 2.5 years, and 2.5 years. A total of 10 years. Sabofana na omu application and yes, sir, amu na omu mami so na omu ya. Sir, omu na omu jina omu long residence so and their duration in the UK so na omu ya. In that case, omu no so omu twa 2.5 years, 2.5 years twice. I'm going to for indefinite. Let me distinguish between this. It's pretty confusing. 2.5 years of abofrano set or namely mame so and na ordinary year and no and only papa so and ordinary 2.5 years no so and it here already 10 years. But abofrano ni mame ya am abofrano pet abofrano nkasa nye ni mame and papa no ditare no and all the bata no abofrano or yam abofrano pet. The 2.5 years is for the child, him or herself. Now, the Sabo Fanacha 2.5 years, 2 times I have 5 years. Or no subject miracle for indefinite leave after the 2.5 years of lawful residence in the UK. So, if you brought your child, you apply for the child after 7 years, the child will be on 2.5 years, 2.5 years. In that case, indefinite leave if the application was made for only the child on him or herself. But say mommy and then the child will have to keep hopping with the parents. Whatever they give the parent is what the child will have up until they get their settlement. If the child is by themselves, 2.5, indefinite. If the child is a dependent on the parent and the application was made for the parent and the child was attached to it, then 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. It's pretty confusing, so don't try to do this yourself. Otherwise, you'll find yourself in a very difficult position. That is also with something we talked about, but we'll talk about it more next year. One other thing we treated, yeah, very tricky, is that so we are British citizen, our Krumha, and our indefinite leave to remain. Not so open, so we did Uyiri any woman a bar. It is possible. So what me actually say, I'm a friend na una unkwa na ohwe mo frana. Ubetumi ya ma na ya ma mo frana indefinite leave to enter. Your mom indefinite ni wie na se actually woni o ma amentem akoye fine. Na obeso odi ni ba. Anu nso de ubetumi ya ma ma no you man 2.5 years but we manage it already omo indefinite. But se mo frana wo omo ma amenchen na se wodi o ma me ene woni mo frana ni omo ma me na application together. And no, young man, I'm from indefinite. You have 2.5 years, send the amount, mammy, 2.5 years, another 2.5 years, total of 5 years before I'm from indefinitely to remain. And also, I think we looked at that, but I think we'll explore it into details. Yami Aduma, next year, we'll look at that more into details. Yakasa about skilled worker visas, health and care visa for Amubaya. There's a lot of problems, difficulties with a Juma. Ebi nye adwuma nye ebi nso abɛyɛ stranded bebree da say na mate sɛ ebi no mo kɔ back to Ghana because almost they be had it's too much ɔmo ntumi ntenante ebi ɛwɔ ɔmo anya ɔmo adwuma all together no ɔmo asan kɔ back to their work but that is what it is And that's what Juma, you can still come to the UK if you have a legitimate employer. And yes, sir, or the Uber, no one very stranded in the UK. So that is what it is. And then you can say about British for now. A man managed to try more British passport citizenship. Now, my outside the UK. I'm a man, you can say, I'm a man are British citizens automatically if the parent got their leave or their state settlements or got their British citizenship through registration or naturalization rather than by descent. And now say, Papa be may old man be a friend me. He was so happy. He didn't call me himself a friend of his, what can you man? 5 children, five. They've all been given their British passport in Ghana. Ghana now, some British passports, and they are coming with their British passport. And yeah, friend, visa, line, fingerprints, another visa, lines, and visa. They got their British passports straight away. And Sana, ever they have their British passports. So it is possible. So we are British, name Ukra British passport. Now we're outside the world, outside the UK, not the world, but actually in the world, but outside the UK, anywhere in the world. That's what I meant to say. Ghana, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, wherever. As long as I'm one with UK, but one outside the UK. Ubet to me actually say we are British. And son, you bana. Men here documents with the premier. You bet me as application number. Mano. Now, on British passport, they register them straight away. They get their British passport, and sana omaba and krumha and po. So we have looked at all of that. So DJ, I think it's 6 minutes to 7 o'clock. It's 4 minutes to 7 o'clock, and I've talked about quite a few things. And to remember, will be a line, no? Say, will be our questions there. I'll be more than happy. Say, Ibini Honswa, Rebecca said. Thank you very much, and we are very grateful for being with us through the year, through and through. And see, DJ, my boss, over to you. Truth Media, a person with graduate route visa be affected by the 29,000 if he or she wants to switch to family route on his or her British child. Yes. Now, if you are switching to the British child, 29,000 no affects partner route awareɛ sɛ waware ɛna wo switch akɔ wo yere so a 129,000 bɛyɛ effective from March next year. 29,000 very effective in March. And sɛ wo switch sɛ wo ware a ɛno deɛ it will affect you if the application is going to be done after the changes have taken place. But if you are switching to your child as a parent, you don't have to make the 29,800 pounds. Sorry, 29,000 pounds. What you need to meet is the maintenance. My distinguishing between maintenance and financial requirement. These are two different requirements. Maintenance is different from financial requirement. The maintenance, we use the case of UVOVO in determining the income support threshold to see whether you meet the income support threshold. And they are totally different from the financial requirement, which is currently 18,600, but will become 29,000 from spring 2024. And you don't have to, it depends on which category you are going to be switching to. Sir, thank you. So students can switch to care work now. Students can switch to care routes if you finish the course. That is what it is. Once we will course no university na aka say ampa we will course no successfully no immediately we will switch to the care work route. Only problem yeah. But so when we will course now, the caption is want to me and switch to the care to the work visa route. You can't. Emmanuel Luther, hi. Can you apply for EU settlement scheme while you are in the UK? You can apply for EU settlement scheme if you're a family member of the EU national before we left the EU, before the 30th of June 2021. Now, if you are not a family member, then you cannot apply under the EU settle scheme now. So we worry you in poor because our worry after Brexit 90 want to make and depending on the EU settlement scheme rules. So you have to do it under the UK rules. That's the 18,600 or 29,000, whichever is applicable. So yes, you can switch to the EU settlement scheme if you came to the UK as a family member of an EU national, and now you were a family member of an EU national before the 31st of December 2020. You can. If not, you need more information. More. Yes, let me put it that with more information as to which route to take. Truth Media again. Hi, I have a child born in Ghana. The mother recently came to the UK but didn't come with the child. I have a British passport. Now apply for the British passport for the child, please. Yes, if you had your British passport or British citizenship other than by descent, in other words, you naturalized as a British citizen, ansana wowɔ ɔba no outside the UK. Ɔba no automatically under Section 2 of the British Nationality Act 1981, ɔba no ɔyɛ already British, or you're British. And you have now akɔgye British citizenship now, or you're British already. The woyɛ ne sɛ you are applying for the British passport for the child. So these are the two things. Are you British? Yes. How did you get your British citizenship? Was it through naturalization? Yes. Was it through your parents? Yes. If it is through your parents, then one who outsider will on your British automatically. But so when you're a true registration and a naturalization, who outside the UK will ban a British automatically. Obi be bisa say adan na me a menya British citizenship na fi me maame and me papa ho. So me ko wo outside the UK a me ban enya British automatically. This is what it is. So wo a wonya ye efi wo papa ho and wo maame ho wako wo outside the UK. Na se wo ban enya British automatically. So wo ban nso etna Ghana so ono nso wo a obekasa because me we acquire British nti me nso me a British citizen. Na se sa wo ban Eba nso ebe wo a wobakasa nso me a British citizen. So it keeps going on and on and on to the 20th and 30th generation. They will all claim British citizenship. UK form penisa. So they want to put a cap to it somewhere. Say, wo papa, wo no, and mama wo now we are British. Now say wo outsider. Yes, ubani be British, but as I say register now about record no say British. At least they have a counting point to do. Otherwise, it goes on. My children will be British. Their children will be British. Their children's children will be British. Their great-great-grandchildren will be British. And it goes on and on and on. And that doesn't help them until they have to put a cut point to it. So, in answer to your question, if you're British by naturalization, your child born in Ghana is automatically a British. Over to me, apply for British passports. Eddie Amana. Kwesi Mensah, hello. Ask him for my big brother lives in the UK and he wants to help me relocate there. Last week he called me to say that one of our family members, who is an EU citizen, who is in the UK too, so she can help me as a dependent. Please, can it work? And what does she need to provide before I can start the application? Thank you, my brother. Unfortunately, you cannot benefit from your auntie or your brother who is in the UK. So let me look at your brother first. If your brother is in the UK, Okra, let's say British passport, sorry, or Okra indefinite leave to remain, he is not able to help you because you're an adult. You are not a minor. So we are minor. That's a situation, and in other words, we are under 18. That's a situation is so bad. Not a person adopted one. That's a different thing. But so when you're 18, your brother cannot help you in any way personally. But about to me, about so person school, maybe a university or anything of the sort. Yes, 100 year. Or bet me assist to come to university, pay the fees, etc. 100 year to the brotherly assistance is there. but not him using his passport or his settlement to bring you to the UK. The second one is set or say the anti a EU national. Unfortunately, from the 31st of December 2020, yet Home Office and the UK government all dependents away from the EU nationals, brothers, sisters, uncles, aunties, nephews, nieces, all those people have been cut off. A cut father, mother, and our grandparents, parents, children, wife, wife and their children, etc. So, ɔmo pɛ na aka. But brother, sister, uncle, nephews, aunties, ne nyinaa yɛtwa wɔn afi hɔ. You cannot depend on your auntie who is an EU national in the UK anymore. I'm so sorry. Patricia Santua Poku, hi. Can you switch from a visit visa to a sponsorship visa when in the UK? Unfortunately, want to me and switch it because visit visa, as the word says, is visit. Visit, kyerɛ sɛ woba abɛsra yɛn na wasan akɔ back. You are coming to visit, not to stay. And to Sauba as a visitor, you cannot switch to any other category, even if you have a sponsor. And to Sauba here as a visitor, now when you will be a sort of sponsor to work in the health sector or anything, the best bet is that Uber sign up back. Application now, but once you Canadian, you cannot switch into that category. Please, I'm in Germany. I found it difficult in Deutschland and would like to go to the UK. How can you guide me? Hi, Haji Salam. Hi, Salam alaikum. Alaikum salam. Right, so yes, it's difficult. So, you can always apply to come to the UK for visit. Assuming so, genuine leave to be there. Who leave to be in Germany, and yes, so we are overstay and only crata or so what crata or over to me as a visitor. And now what crata or not so over Juma, and you wait me to share employer be our sponsorship license, not to say employee will not wait to me about Juma. And now so over school and you liaise with the universities in the UK, so more admission, all your fees are, of course, over to me about UK. About a year, about a school, and about a year, depending on the category of Uber so can the one inviting you sponsor for the visa? Yes, Lani, yes. The people who are third party support. Third party support is said Home Office G2 said so be a slap and our share UK ha. That's the one case I wouldn't see canning in Obi another person better me and sponsor and I better me pay and then you have third party support. So it is possible if your mommy, who papa, who uncle, auntie, friend, brother. So with mutual relationship now, then of course, on better me as sponsor as a third party. It is 100% allowed. But sometimes, and I'm kind of say, Crawford, I'm going to refuse to do that. And see, we already baby, I'm pet reasons. And so being a sponsor one. Montias said they need to give you a letter and explain the entire they are sponsoring you or they are paying the cost for you. So that is allowed. Hello, Apostle. I'm here in the UK with my wife. She came in as a student and I came as her dependent. We have plans of going for our kids by next year. Is it possible, please? There's some restrictions. Thank you, Apostle. Well, sir, you came as a student. Unfortunately, the students cannot bring their dependents unless it is a research, that is graduate students, research-oriented courses. Omuna humble to me, Eddie Emofana about dependents and children. But if you're not a research-oriented or research caption student, unfortunately, you cannot bring your dependents now. So what I would suggest is that you have to work towards your ultimate settlement. And TABIA, we will course, our course, the 2.5 years, the 2 years graduate visa rules, and then possibly from a honor, you move to another category if you are this healthcare or any other skilled labor category. So sign here. Once you come out of the graduate route into another route, it is possible to apply for the children to come in that category. Or worst case scenario, set munyamu settlement. I believe after 5 years or so, over to me a demo from under the immigration rules. And I know the amobile indefinite and straight away. Hi, Julius Nyangonla. Good evening, Guy. Good evening, and Merry Christmas to you, and Happy New Year. If you're a dependent on someone COS and a person, what council the COS will either affect you? Depend. Okay. What it means is we are dependent on what will be COS. So, not set COS company now issue COS no or council COS now. I bet affected with dependents no and my question, the question I always ask, or the answer I always give to this question is the tree falls with the branches. The tree, it falls with the branches. If the tree falls, the branches fall. If the main sponsor falls, the dependents fall. So if the company that issued the COS withdraws it, it means the main applicant has no legs to stand on. In the same way, no, dependents in the suit are very affected now. So, my point is, again, if the tree falls, it falls with the branches. If the main sponsor falls, it falls with the dependents. So, that will be my simple response. Yes, the dependents will be affected. Unless the dependent Nakasa quickly switch to another category, and the is no longer a dependent on one work. And also, all the dependent switches to another category, they are on their own and no longer a dependent on somebody else. Hello, Mame. Good evening. Good evening. Well done for the good job. Thank you, Mame. We are very grateful. We are thankful to you for always listening as well. We're grateful. Merry Christmas to you and a happy New Year. Make it make sense. I am in your territory. I hope you are good. Merry Christmas and a happy New Year to SBTV and to my wise one. Thank you. It is cheaper to get your permanent stay through your child or wife. Is it cheaper? It depends. It depends on the route on which you are. If you mean cheap, cheap can be interpreted in so many other ways. In terms of cost or in terms of headache. If it's in terms of headaches, I don't know which one is easier. Maybe if you are basing on your child, you may not have a lot of headaches with so many things. And of course, as long as you have contact with the child, you can always extend, you get your settlement. If it is based on your partner and what you got 7 documents name just not you have a difficulty in that case. But if it is based on your child, now so bani jigampua, now would the court and you have if maybe a friend of child arrangement or that the court says you have contact with your child, the mother cannot say no. And no, it gives you less headache in that aspect. And so if you are talking about it being cheap, then it is easier with the parent rather than with the partner. But in terms of home office application fee, the cost is the same. You pay the same amount for the home office fee and then the IHS. So that would be my response. Make it make sense. Can you file for a 2.5-year LTR whilst in the UK on a visa waiver program? And how fast can you get an interview if all requirements are met for the spouse LTR visa? Merry Christmas to you. And Happy New Year. I almost said Happy New York. Happy New Year. Thank you. So, can you file for the 2.5 whilst on the UK in a visit waiver program? So, if you are a US citizen and you come to visit the UK, you are on a visa waiver program, means you don't have to apply for visa to come to the UK. But you are still in the UK as a visitor, not as a person who is in another category, as a student or as a tier worker. You are still in the UK as a visitor. And therefore, if you want to stay in the UK as a parent or as a partner and the child, you have to wait until your visa becomes established. In other words, your visa runs out. And to say, I'm out 3 months over UK, ho, and now 6 months over UK. Ho. This is a train, mas 6 months, no, not just a visa, na the amount, a woo, we are, and you wait me application based on Ubano, and ne, mame. It is possible. Because a visa in your pet, when you visit a biome, why will be a overstayer? Overstayers can apply. Visitors cannot switch because Uber as a visitor. So take note of that technicality. Alexander Ampemdako, hi. Can one bring dependent as a care worker? Yes, I said yes, you can bring your dependent, but that change is going to take effect from March, where you cannot do that again. If you're a care worker, yes, and a senior care worker, that is the changes they are going to bring. Care workers and senior care workers. Care workers and senior care workers can still bring their dependents even from spring next year. I don't know which category they have. I don't know how they categorize the care workers. I don't have the idea as to the categories. But the information we have is care workers and senior care workers can still bring their dependents. We are waiting for the fine details, the fine prints. Then we'll be able to tell you one, I'll read it out to you. One, you can bring. Two, you can bring. Three, you can bring. Four, you can't bring. So let's give them maybe a week or two more. I'm sure the details will come and then we'll put it out here. Thank you so much. Evans Alpha, hi. Please, I heard if a student dependent switch to a skilled worker visa, it does not affect the main student, even if the students finish school. Can you throw light? Yes. Well, if a student dependent switch to the skilled work visa, now the problem in this case is the student is still be regarded as a person, an individual on their own. So the problems are the students themselves are finding this set. The care workers are applying the Home Office rules. The dependent switch in poor. They want to be sure that the students we any course and sana they put the students on the dependent who now become the main worker now. The dependent necessarily no not be the main applicant, and a student who also switch it to the dependent. So a lot of care homes and care workers are not accepting that. But if you have a provider that is happy to switch you, it also left them to the Home Office to interpret whether the care worker, whether the student can become a dependent. It's a very gray area in this aspect. So we are actually again exploring to see or testing the waters to see how best such situations can be addressed. Yes. Michael Sapong, my is a nurse and has written the IELTS with band 6. Can you please help me? Well, please contact the NHS. The NHS is the best option for you. We at NERSA contact the NHS direct. And the NHS say Omankasa Omama Wejuma. That's the Oma COS now bar. There is no way NHS Beka to say Omani Ejuma. So liaise with them. If they have some agencies they can refer you to, those agencies and they will assist you through the process for you to get vaccinated and whatever. I always tell people you can't fail with the NHS provided you make the right contacts and you are persistent enough. So NHS Mawejuma, you are good to go. And now when you're an agency that can recruit on behalf of the NHS, then you are good to go. So yes, please contact the NHS. Go to NHS Jobs, NHS Jobs. You see job vacancies, apply, email somebody, ask them what you can do or what they need to know, the documentations they require, your qualifications. Contact somebody, push it. I'm sure somebody will respond and Obanya a good outcome. Normally, the problem we have is we want to do the thing, but yeah, now we want somebody else to do it for us. Please take this on yourself. Yeah, the said, Obanya, some good outcome out of it. Now, Kofi, we did answer her. If you give birth whilst student, can you remain in the UK after your studies? Oh, Kofi, it all depends. Now, if you're a student, na se over, na se, may use Kofi as an example. May use one as an example. Assuming say we are students, na when wawoba, abofra ne maame ɛwɔ 2.5 years. Yes, it is possible. Say after a course, no, we make application based on ubano and any mami and our ubano. That is one. Two. So we are student. Not say what ubano a British citizen because ni mami kwa indefinite and our British citizenship. Of course, because ubano a British citizen, nanti who you of course I make application based on ubano. Also, when you are citizen. I know any friend appendix FM section LT RPT wetway application based on that with reference to GEN 3.2 Article 8 cases and best interest of the child under the immigration rules. Nina betumi aboa case. That is possible. And now we are student. Now say wawuba again ubano edi 7 years or only 7 years in book but over 2.5 years. Again, about my application under the Human Rights Act, HRO, FLRHRO, which puts you outside of the immigration rules. And also, so we are successful. So yes, there are a few combinations with me to be a student and you have a child in the UK. Hello, Godfrey Opoku. When you are using skilled working visa and your company doesn't have work for you, can you use it to work in another company? Or, well, it is possible you can do 20 hours in another company. But the problem is, say, it do time for you to extend your visa now. Not a woman employer, no, and just only na yejuma. You may have some difficulties. You may have some difficulties in extending your visa. So, say, yes, again, contact the NHS and now sponsor for na switch and sana to time also. And yes, at the time also, that's one to me and switch it. That's the employer now do work from hand and so and to me among the supporting evidence to show set when you're married, then you'll be stranded after the 2 years or 3 years or 5 years in the UK as a skilled worker. Hello, H. Please, I have a B citizenship, British citizenship by registration under UKF section 4G. Please, is it by descent or otherwise? No, if you did it by registration, if it is by registration or naturalization, that is not by descent. So you are fine. In that case, your children outside the UK can also be granted the British citizenship. Anything that is by registration, that is if you were young, you were a child, or by naturalization is not descent. Descent means who papa wo no, no mama wo no, they were already British, and now they have indefinite. So you were born already a British. So in that case, it doesn't apply if the child is born outside. But in your case, if you have it by registration, you are good to go. Kwade Onukpa. Hello. Hello, Onukpa tete. Afi ayana ebani nawo. Oh no. Okay, a friend of mine is a dependent to someone, but he forgot to add his children to the application. So, in future, how can he file for his children if he wants to bring them? It depends. So, opposite mofani ever in future, either sir or non indefinite. Of course, with me application, I'm more straight away. Or private me a DNA. Now, I just said these children are my children. Sometimes Home Office correct me, I can say you didn't add the children's names when you were making the application to come to the UK. Yes, I understand them, but your child is your child. DNA which says the child or the children are your children. The fact that one fact omoding onto application form does not mean that they aren't the children. That is an omission on the part of the parent. It should not be used against the children. Now, if you want them to come and join him now, this is the time to do it before the changes take place. But if not, obetumi atwan sɛ ɔnya the indefinite na ɔde mmɔfra no aba. I brought someone here, but the company doesn't have work for him to, so he's working for different company, but it's not care company. Well, that is not very safe. It's not safe at all because who care who by as a carer. That's also in another category. It should also be in the care sector, not in a different work setting altogether. And it is not safe, and yet safe. Or when you are in the care sector, at least on no, but totally different thing is not safe. It can be someone it can affect you, and as in the future, also called renewal, that can also become a problem for you. Hello, Ishmael. I'm okay. I'm refused EEA family visa and was able to come to the UK through student dependent. Can I now proceed with the EEA family application? I need to know which category of the family member you are. Are you a child? If you're a child of the EU national, unfortunately, if you came in after the Brexit, then you will not be able to switch to EU family as a dependent. If you had applied or you had appealed and came as a family member, you could still proceed on that basis. But you came as a student. Now you can't switch to the EU family route. It's an area that I did one for somebody. We are still waiting for the decision because there was evidence that he is the child of the EU national, just like yours. An application was refused, but he entered the UK before the Brexit. He entered before Brexit. In that case, our argument is he was in the UK before we left the EU. But in your case, if you came after the EU, after the Brexit, then yours becomes very, very difficult to succeed. Charity Apam will say, I have heard next year people with visiting visas can work in the UK. How true is that? Well, DJ M said we treated this last week. Mikaya said a category of people are going to be allowed to work as visas. It is not for all visitors. Near Amu Khan said if you are a professional in your field, and you want to come to the UK to work, you should be invited by people in that category, maybe an employer or in that sector who would invite you, maybe a university, or you are a drummer, or you are, let's say, an artist, you are a singer, you are a dancer, you are a choreographer, and you have been invited to come and perform for 1 month. It's only for 1 month. It says you must be a professional in your field. You can be a professional artist, entertainer or musician, professional sports person, a lecturer, a qualified lawyer who is coming to represent their client, a person who is coming to give lectures or series of lectures. You are an examiner or you are an academic. It is possible to come, or you are an airline pilot. You can come for 1 month and work and get paid. So it is not for all visitors. There are categories of visitors who can come and work, but it is only for 1 month, not.
Lawyer, questions na me won be brain wo ho but ebi mo wo ho a mesere mo bi wo ho a afi no wa be join nti enyam ebi wo Canada wo ho nti mentimi mfa mba bio video na nya de e be delete mesere mo nti se o mesi afi no wa join na o mesi ya ye call off we a video no be page so betimi ahwe na the questions na mo bisa na we yi ano deda se na be ya obetimi ahwe because yes na be brain me so questions na do so I don't come back and forth. Oh, yeah, no, that. Yes, I could be only as another lawyer. Yes, I'm back. Be only as I the same question. Intimacy. When him say questions, name, but if you are, I feel no have joining. Ebi ana unima wa answer bi mu da wa bobo so da wa answer review and a review the whole year in some kind no no bobo so to wa kan some bi da nti misra mo yen ko de ni wa ye a bit wa mo boso enne no ene na bo ko bi wa mistake because wa answer da no I take it away.
Thank you. Can you explain why there is a delay in COS? There is a delay in COS because the Home Office wants to be sure that the COS is being issued to the rightful employees or to the rightful employers. Because now saying, yeah, Titi said a lot of fake COSs have been issued. Ebi aba m'anim, ebi ayɛ application a refuse wɔn, wɔn de abrɛ me, and the reason for refusal is that the Home Office states that those COS were not genuine, fake COS. The COS numbers were wrong. The employer registration numbers were inaccurate. The figures that were quoted were wrong. Sometimes even the names of the person that has been put on the COS absolutely wrong. And I had to say here, just fake ones, air fry at the end. And the Home Office say and some number issue no, announce an employer number issue no. They want to be very, very sure that they are issuing the right COS to the right people. And until they are doing their background checks and doing their due diligence, and sana they go ahead and issue the COS. Now, no employer wants the Home Office to come after them. Say, what will issue COS way Ediamobi? The Home Office can raid their offices, turn things upside down, or even close their firm or revoke their license. Nobody wants to do that. So they will take time, make sure they do the right thing. So normally, at the end, 1 week, 2 weeks now. Already made it 2 months because they want to take their time and get things done right. So unfortunately, or fortunately, that is what it is that we can say is the reason for the delay in the issuance of CS. Even applications are, it be decisions within 10 days. Now I'm saying maybe 80 more than that. Again, because of fake COS now, if anyone applications, the Home Office is also trying check. They have to do all their checks to be sure that the documents that have been provided are genuine. Bank statement, TV license, tenancy agreements, land registry documents, with the account so would the actually so when will be our and our person. They have to check all these documents before they progress with the application. Chile, Baltimore, strong. I'm already here in the UK, but my kids are in Ghana. My brother, who is a doctor, is trying to come here by next year. Can't he add my 4 kids to his documents together with his wife? Because I'm unable to switch my visa now until 2025 to a care worker visa, and I'm on a student dependent visa now. Well, I mean, your brother is a doctor. It is possible for him to come to visit the UK with your children. Again, so obetumi akyerɛ sɛ I'm a sister and money may go holiday with my wife and kids. It's a family unit. I'm a friend of mine sɛ mepɛ sɛ mene ɔmo nyinaa tu kwan ɛkɔ UK a, why not? Awɛtumi application ama wɔn as visitors. Ɔmo aba abɛka wɔn nsa ɛwɔ kurom ha. So yes, that is possible. That is possible. Second question, sir, can someone with use his or her bank statement to sponsor the father or mother to UK for a visit of the parents? That if the parent does not have one, if yes, what is the requirements needed? Yes, I mentioned that you could always have a third party support for visit visa applications, and to say, old man, old lady, Old man, old lady, they don't have any savings or they don't have much in their account. Even if they do have, it's not a lot. And you want to give your parents a treat. Of course, why not? What we do bank statements. Actually said, you have sufficient funds. Open said, would you sponsor the old boy and the old girl? The requirements, your bank statement, the Oyejuma, with your Oyejuma, we are all self-employed are evidence of your company registration, your company accounts, your personal accounts, the relationship between any the old man and the old girl, it's your birth certificate. You can use all of this as evidence of the relationship. And of course, one bookie hotel, and one bookie Airbnb, you need the papers, the documents to show some more baby at the these are all evidence that you need to show to support that application. The old man and old lady have got their own account, so of course, wait media also at the account. If there are some property, if there are rentals, there are some houses they've rented out and they're making some money out of it, wait media sign in the account. Some of your church members, elder in the church, deacon or deaconess in the church, and of course, the church can give them a letter to support the application. Say, of course, yes, the old boy and the old girl have been members of this church for the last 45 years, and they've played very pivotal roles to help the young and the adults in the church. But me decide letters in the account application. Thank you. Hi. There is all right, Mr. Arthur. There are speculations that the graduate route visa may be cancelled coming years. What is the best advice for students who have a year more to finish school? Thank you. Right, thank you too. Well, as for these rumors, we hear them all the time. But for me, yeah, I can say I will not put anything out there in the open without having a source of reference. And to make me, I can say, yes, Sana Etia, that means I can point you to where you can read it from the Home Office or the the case laws or from the Houses of Parliament, their submissions and everything. I have to have a source. We've all heard about these things passing soon, the graduate route, etc. I've heard it before, but there is absolutely nothing in America say I just said they would cancel it. It is possible they can cancel it. They always cancel. They always bring and take. They bring and take. So that is what it is. Until then, I would say, so we are students, and our graduate route is so we are students. We have one more year to go, and because one name set the graduate route made us so or not, then remember, so the law says the parent route is always there. You can always become a family member. You can always become a family. You can always apply based on your family, either a parent, your partner, your child, etc., etc. Skilled worker. Maybe you're an IT person, you get an IT sponsor, or a care route. Any work route is also there. You can always start making your provisions or start planning ahead of time so that by the time I'm very school, some we in few at least you've already opened up your options as to which routes or which way to go genuinely to remain in the UK. Aguna Hene Kofi Adofo. Hello, Papa. Papa Aguna Hene. DJ Nyami, good evening and well done for the good job. Yes, who needs to show the financial requirement when your partner files for you to join him or her in the UK? It is the person who is in the UK that will have to show the financial requirement, that it meets the financial requirement. Nipa na ɔwɔ UK ha no, ɔno na ɛsɛ sɛ ɔkyerɛ sɛ wɔmeti the financial requirements no. Ɛnyɛ nea ɔwɔ Ghana, but nea ɔwɔ UK ha. Nti sɛ ɔbaa no na ɛwɔ ha a, ɔno na ɛkyerɛ sɛ ɔmeti the financial requirements no. Sɛ ɔbarima no ɛna ɛwɔ ha a, ɔbarima no na ɛsɛ sɛ ɔkyerɛ sɛ ɔmeti the financial threshold no. And some application will have a chance of succeeding. Thank you very much. My question is, can a registered mental nurse get sponsorship visa and work as a mental health assistant without writing the IELTS and CBT? Well, when it comes to sponsorships, it's all down to the employer and the requirement the home office needs. If it is a requirement for you to write the IELT test, you have to. So I would advise you to please liaise with the employers or liaise with the mental health homes or clinics or hospitals, NHS, mental health department, the relevant sections, and find out what they need. I will be giving you an inaccurate information if I say yes or no. So please, the best source where you can get that information from is from the employer, and they will tell you exactly what they need. So over throw exam notes, I won't throw on the map was so active. But with a as a mental health nurse, say and here's over I think that will be easy for you by virtue of your level of education, exposure, comprehension, understanding, application. I believe the IELTS will be very easy and a walk in the park for you. Hello, friends. If you're a dependent coming to the UK before 24 March, can it affect you when they pass the law concerning the £38,000 annual income your main applicant supposed to get? As long as you make the application or you come before the law takes effect, you are safe. We don't know the exact date that the law is going to come into effect. We've been told it's going to be spring. Spring starts in March. I think the last time I checked is around 16, 17 thereabouts of March. Nobody knows. The Home Office can wait till the end of March. They can wait until the middle of March or the 10th of March. Nobody knows. So the earlier you can do it, the better for you. Don't leave yourself exposed to the Home Office by waiting too close to the time or waiting for the changes to take effect before you apply for the switch. Thank you. Godfred Opoku, hello. Can the dependent change to main, and when the dependent switch, is it going to cover the main or only the dependent? Well, dear, all the ones here, we've been successful in them. We said, so dependent is switch here, not main, not very dependent. We have been successful in all of those so far. We don't know what changes will come, but already this year, dear, we have been successful in those aspects. Good evening. Why mostly EU applications go to court and decisions can take more than a year? Why? Well, EU applications go to court. They are mostly refused, especially dependency applications. About 99.99999%. So let me say 100% of dependent applications, GUSS dependent applications. 99.9999999% of those applications set abofrano more than 21 years older, it will be refused. So Onyatra 21 years per, the application will be refused. Now they are court. So abofrano under 21 years, na ubatimi ache relationship, general relationship, and no dear, as long as abofrano under 21 years, no problems. It should be successful unless there is some additional reason. It should be successful. But once they are 21 years and above, it is almost certain that it will be refused. Now, say you're refusing now the court. Kai said, court no IAQ cases we will answer na would the echo. There is no way court make us so would the case no ye epi q ne echi any abetwe nim debi ye didi so saa achinaya achinaya atwitwe nti ukwa we kwa na nso aba kakra so 5,000 cases na wo ha would the make 5,001 and they have to deal with them in that order. So if it's going to take 10 months, you have to wait for the 10 months. If it's going to take 11 months, you have to wait for the 11 months. If it's going to take a year, you have to wait because ebi ne nyinaa edidi so. Ɛsɛ ehwɛ obi di ansa na yɛahwɛ owo deɛ. Unfortunately, frustrating as it might be, that is just the way things are when it comes to the court. Everybody's case is important, and yours will not be prioritized over other people's cases. Of course not. Hello, Kofi. I like your posture of calmness and openness with which you are explaining the issue. Some lawyers always shout and engage in scaremongering. Thanks for your patience, mate. Thank you, mate. I will contact you someday for assistance. Keep the good work up. Thank you, Mr. Wuni Kofi. Thank you so much. I am grateful. This is all I can also do to assist my people, to help my people, to give the information I can give. We are all here for just a short time. For all we know, we are all here for so long. I do my best, you do your bit, everybody does their bit, our country goes forward. Thank you so much for appreciating all that we are doing. And say thank you to DJ Nyami. He's a good man. Hello, Angie Donker. I'm 22 years old in the UK, having 3 years working visa. Can I have my permanent stay after 5 years? Yes, if you're working as if you're a sponsored worker 3 years, after the 3 years you have to do 2 more years, and that makes it 5 years with your sponsor. Up to 5 years you apply for your indefinite leave to remain. 3 years plus 2 years on a sponsored where as a sponsored worker you get your indefinite leave to remain after the 5 years. Thank you. Godfred Owusu Afishapo. If a man, if a man, sorry, I'm so sorry. If a main applicant care worker gives birth with a student, what happens to our visa? If a main applicant care worker gives birth to a student with a student, what happens with our visa? Now, if a main applicant care worker gives birth with a student, the mother or the main care worker, the child becomes the dependent of the main care worker. So if the main care worker is on 5 years, I would say the main care worker should apply for 5 years for the baby as well. Because if the parent who is a student applies for the student visa for the a student dependent for the child, remember the student the years is shorter than the care worker. The care worker is longer. So the child also gets what the main care worker has. It could be 5 years, it could be 3 years. And when the student finishes their studies and they also apply for the graduate route, then they can move on that way. Or if they marry, then the student can also switch to become a dependent on the care worker. But remember, the law says from sometime in I think April, March, if the changes do come and the main carers cannot, I mean now they say they can, but the way these people keep changing their mind, if they say you cannot, then I advise that you carry on with the graduate route. But if the graduate route is cancelled, we don't know, and I haven't heard anything, then you must as well be on your own, whilst the mother or the main care worker and the child carry on. You have a very good chance because ultimately you can always make an application under FLRHRO, Human Rights Outside of the Rules, based on the fact that your child has maybe 3 years or 5 years. On that basis, the student, in one way or the other, will be able to regularize their stay to get their settlement in the UK eventually if all the other requirements are satisfied. Thank you. KB Mansa, sir. Please, I am on a student visa. I'm on a dependent visa and would like to go to Ghana to complete a 2-year course. Would that negatively affect my visa renewal? Yes, that can affect you. Now, the problem is if you're on a dependent visa, you are expected to be here with the dependent. Now, you haven't said how long you are supposed to be here with the main applicant. You haven't said how long you are going for. If you're going for 2 years, yes, that will affect you. But assuming you have maybe a 3 months or 1 month or 4 months to go and finish the course and then come back, that can be explained. That can be explained. But if you want to go away for 2 years, that is too long, and it can affect your renewal in the UK. God bless you, Apostle. God bless you too. I'm so grateful. My question has been answered. However, my wife is a master's student, September in intake. Is it still possible to go get our keys by next year, please? Well, yes, if the master's program she is doing is research, then yes, you can still go get the children. So the key thing is research. I think they've captioned it a certain way. You can call me afterwards, maybe from Tuesday. Call me. My number is 079 DJ will put it on the screen. 079 And the office number is +44 2080 165 384. 0208 And then we could do a little more research for you to see exactly in which category. If she's in a research oriented course, go to her admission letter and see what the description of the course is. If it's research, then yes, you can still bring the kids even after um, the changes take place. Kwame Kusi, hello. Good evening. I want to do 20 years long residence stay application. Should I apply for after 2.5 years? Should I apply for indefinite leave for 2.5 years? Please don't go for indefinite leave, or they'll take your money and refuse the application and put you on 2.5 years. They will take your money of £2,880 and still get you to come and pay additional £1,560 or £2,587 50p on top of that, and then still give you 2.5 years. So please apply for your 2.5 years and save yourself from wasting all the money. Let me just give you a rough idea of how much you would waste if you go and apply for the indefinite leave to straight away. If the laws change, you pay 2587.50 plus 1250. You'll be paying £3,837 50p, and then they will make you pay for the IHS again. Meanwhile, you would have paid for the um, indefinite leave application, which is £2,880. You'll be spending very close to £5,000 for nothing. Please save your money. Go for your 2.5 years. They give it to you. You have your peace of mind. Thank you very much. Okay, is it Igena? If a skilled worker got his or her indefinite leave and the dependent didn't pass the English test and live in the UK, which visa would the dependent have to stay on? Well, you can then switch to the partner route. You have to switch to the partner route. They'll give the dependent 2.5 years. As soon as the dependent passes, then you can also go for your indefinite leave to remain. What you should avoid at all costs is to become illegal. Never, ever, ever become unlawful in the UK. Never become illegal. Otherwise, it makes life very difficult. So apply for 2.5 years as a partner, and then when you pass the test, you then switch to the indefinite. You apply for indefinite leave to remain. Jeremy Bernard. Hi, I must say that I am very lucky to be part of your team. Thank you, Jeremy. I'm also very pleased to be part of DJ Nyami's team and you. I have really benefited from your lessons. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We are grateful. Thank you, Gina. Charles Jima. Lawyer just had EU family members with 5 years settlement. You will be given another 5 years after 5 years. But no automatic indefinite leave to remain. Well, yes, what the Home Office is saying is this, that if you're a family member of an EU national and they are looking at it from the time of the Brexit, that is 2000 and that's 2020 plus 5 takes you to 2025. Now you have to be in the UK for 5 years before you can get your indefinite leave to remain. So what they are saying is those who have 2 years or 3 years, they are giving you additional 2 years to make you fill the gap of 5 years because since 2020 to 2023, that is 3 years already. So they are adding 2 more years to it. Now, if you cannot prove that your EU national has been in the UK exercising treaty rights, this time it's not even about treaty rights, it's about being present in the UK over the period, and you cannot show those documentations, then of course they will give you another 5 years. But if you can prove at any point in time that yes, I have been in the UK for 5 years, and this is the evidence that I've remained a family member of my EU national for 5 years, go. You don't wait for their automatic grant. You proactively apply for the indefinite leave and show the documentation. You will be given your indefinite leave to remain. Don't wait for the automatic grant if you're already qualified. Don't. Go ahead, apply. You will get your indefinite leave to remain.
Lawyer,
Thank you, DJ.
me who say last hour, I think that questions no more than baby. But Mr. Ramo, yeah, you know, a pound crime and I say end of the year and Mama Jala.
Mama Jara, Mama Jara.
Jala, who can ride the bicycle, who can rent a bicycle, not time as well, so dear Coacra, to so.
David, look around your deck. Watch it, watch it near Hoja.
I want so Mama time, and I know the questions in the also, but you better wisdom, Akawas, the whole year, the end of the year program, Wise Man Solicitors, one for February, two, we program we near the Omomuti, or first time in there, and making sure someone subscribe to the channel every Friday's piano, and in the bus 5:30. GMT in the bus to 7:30. Yeah, and then most of the questions in the door so no comments in the door so my idea, but the numbers the whole screens to know say open say contact Wise Man Solicitors with me contact your numbers in the two send a with me contact no later after the program with me from office line yeah the details in omo address in your beto before I go here Obama on baby or London also contact about me contact no but lawyer
DJ.
potom winche potom o ti ase
Wabre. Potom, una potom.
Lawyer so lawyer with Macau yeah, that's say obenya mre over this program we bring the whole review. Oh yeah, no, I said obi new wa bia no betias. And I'm also among the questions by ntimi amfa. Ebi wa ha wa answer that. Into the video no end there. Nya botere na tena ho. Na hwebio. Omo say questions na obi say na ya mfa to answer that. And I'm in na videos bebre uko YouTube channel SBTV Africa uko live so I'm say na bebre problems now within you know can be the lawyer that's
Yeah, DJ.
that's it. Your last message be person can you address ne location ne we be able to be there to be
DJ, that's it. Look, I just want to, on behalf of all the listeners and watchers, special thank you. That's it. It's very educative. This is a kind of and yet insult and this is
Ghana for me be prepare go bad no she so nim we no make just say oh Charlie feel like me go for me smart the people o mo tie sa nyama wo bi me AK from US me Canada guy Steve Awudi e so tie stories ni bia nkofo de fa so ju kwan omo me bibi wa agan anya de no abo nkofo be backdoor but me dem ka say omo mo aso no metie
yeah
ultimate first no But in that negative, you do as you really downfall. Just say na get your Guinness record the Asantwa or to Mama Ghana. Ya. This question back when let me catch the party be say. Ghana renew. Oh, you supporting the Ghana for. Ghana ni ya the over supporting me. Me share that. Or no any program. I don't know how to mean to I don't know ya.
Yes.
Yes. It's not supporting it is our mentality. Anyone you push by a negative.
Yeah.
Obi akọjọ jai na ware na new country. Nti ade be ma ebe boy no. Sise ayeye no yempe. Anka ade be bo anka by na anka set me 5 million views, 5,000, 10,000 views at the most.
Recently, now there was a Ghanaian viewer on the CNN, I think CNN person for the year now, personality for the year. Not Ghana maybe also. And the way US for the Ghanaian community, they were all saying, vote for him. And it was so encouraging, so beautiful. The Ghanaian communities were voting for this person who is a Ghanaian on CNN, and they were. I saw it. Yeah. I was so impressed. The way the Ghanaian community, people were calling, hey, vote for him. And it was so beautiful. Let's support our own. And let's our own up. Look, you never know when you need somebody. And that is my simple principle in life. Last week, Lady Bibami or a part of this program, me descendants or ne brother and Kasa, one biological brother, one father, one blood. Ne brother, a lawyer, UK. But Ossie Davy, or per se, young wise man should handle the case for her. And she brought it. It was very complex. I'll be very honest with you, because not bolts and nuts need be any as I say a one. Dear friend, me, I'm a friend, it's now saying, for you, we brought. Yeah, the 2 mono, pint and the 2 weeks, indefinite straight. And then see, the thing is, the joy we get when we help our people, that is what keeps us going. If we can't, we will let you know. If we will, we will let you know.
I mean, man, shout out to Salomon Koyana.
Oh,
Salomon, big shout out to SBTV Africa fans. Okay, chairman. Okay, say. Oh, now say, Nyami, I listen to your program. It's your lawyer. Me call no was sorting me buying one time. I say, okay, chairman. Me don't buy no catch. Say, Nyami, Charlie, your man sort me out to me and Jane. I'm say, yeah. So tell me, we follow na check. Into who say some of the canon. Onye wayo. Baby won't tell me of wayo. My boy, Diama. My SBTV Africa fans. Salome. Big shout out to you. Lawyer, the best of the count. Of a son, cool. Say, only publish it online. We call on it's a good news about and say, yeah. So what I say?
Yo,
very important.
There's a lady called me the other day. This is just to let everybody there is hope. And they just mean one it that Obina the number the man and a friend and I'll say up me anything, and I knew he was like from the Dangbe area. And so besides him, and I'll say Topo. And I said Topo, you know, when him as I'll say I, when him Kajanya or say I, when him Abuvianya or say I, when him along all the Suchari do the road home. And I said, yes, I know your village. I know exactly where you come from. She was like, how do you know? And I said, yes. It's a very small world. It's a very small world. Exactly, because you're idea what a horn. Teacher. You never know. For all you know, ni mami kura mami nswa mama numda. For all you know, ni papa, it's a small world. So for me, that is how I look at life. We help each other. And the information I need, man, is just to help. Me did this next year. Nyame ma yɛn nkwa. Obema yɛ obiara nkwa. We'll do more of it. DJ Nyame, next year, Fatu Jase, more questions be and our topics we are dealing with are important. Some topic and vital issues they want us to deal with. If they give you the topic, pass it to me. We will look at it and deal with it. God bless you all. We are grateful. We give you the best of 2024. May the Lord keep you, preserve you, protect you, give you good health, and may you increase in all the good things life can give you. DJ, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Our office address no to the UK numbers on mobile.
White Solicitors. White Solicitors. They were number 18 to 22 Ashwin Street, 8 to 9 the Print House. 18 to 22 Ashwin Street, 8 to 9 the Print House. Postcode here E8 3DLE, Echo 8 3 Delta Lima. Echo 8 3 Delta Lima. Yeah, well, Dalston Junction, behind the McDonald's. We are close to the Dalston Market. We are not in the Dalston Market, as DJ Nyami will say, but we are close to the Dalston Market. And see, who do Dalston Market? It's at Money Markets, Money Matters, so open lawyer wisdom, and now wise man solicitors. Ubisa Muhammad or a Taylor or Ubisa Ajua, Ubisa Adum, all the Ghanaian traders in the Dalston market, Ubisa for wise man solicitors. We are just behind the market that is close to behind the McDonald's, which is also close to the Dalston market. The numbers are on the screen: 0208-0165-384, 0208-0165-384. Mobile number 079-31-411-042. Thank you. We love you. We wish you the best for 2024. So, Ushiami Obebia, Kassetwa.
Also passport. I'm going to our own.
Don't cut to it.
Lawyer Wisdom Akao, passing through SBTV Africa, so every Fridays, from 5:30 to 7. And I stand time because 2023 na ababy enti or a review kakra na me che madam asese mo SBTV Africa ma mo join SBTV Africa fans nya na new ones amaba YouTube channel ya na mo visit ho na content na ye Facebook dey ya na teasers bo short about me say yeah me you put the videos are too short but on kind so no I'm trying kind kakra video be ede beto obi a say full video no e wo ntimi mfa no di video ni nyina nto nti e short one 2 minutes say full video no nti simple the obe ni say subscribe to your channel on YouTube na click on adoma no say the video to so a obenya no first ahwe nti on YouTube na ko subscribe to SBTV Africa the new channel ba SBTV International January here be 2024 and we are brofun kwa me the lawyer baso say me brofo number beka ye beka brofo nko a sa channel no and English into the SBTV Africa de Ghana for na jafa nti ana ada Africans ne abrofo ne ade bia like say chale omunti ase yen so anytime e dey subtitle nti e new channel de ba ene for English brofo nko a nti o pese oba e show no so bi e bia unti twi o ye Ghana ni nkra na unti twi obesa ukabrofo link it up my numbers so YouTube and my numbers they be our screens so 2 numbers with me on WhatsApp even your Facebook rano my number no with me on WhatsApp me and send me voice note and frame is our numbers ni and frame if you won't call you go call tire just send me voice note simple and I send me WhatsApp message me responding but oh yes all afraid there I beg you go call tire Mr. It's a very DJ Nyame dem say the whole year no me so you be break kakra na me adoma next year from the 4th no so team na say agi ahome kakra na ya boy juma chanti this year no from the 4th and na I so agi holiday ni kakra China off Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, till Wednesday no more no. And I say Wednesday be 4th and Monday 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. The 4th be Thursday. Na resume na the videos number more. And then China the videos we bring women China. Follow your YouTube. Most of them go up so to kwanya. Uti a man for stories. Akwentum. Ghana has say so. Omo businesses near there. Follow ya. Ebe boa. We be up so ya. Share a man for the mistakes on my near there. And to make sure so we join a channel no YouTube, SBTV, or TikTok. You will be but YouTube there will be videos no full ones no. I should me say, Mama share. Go for that prekubo so SBTV Africa fan. Me that say, Nasta Idrisu. Me that say, Smith. You just joined. Me that say, Akesa Aaron. Me that say, Nana Ekuya Jemfua. One of the big happy wise man solicitors office number near there. Meaning so can lawyer on there on the address on the phone number thing go. Thank you. Why are there? Louisa Ejavon me that say I say Ikejina me that say Ike Clement. Thank you so much. So comment and me fan to so with me contact lawyer na with me at church later. Nana Jemai, thank you so much. Kwame Kusi, thank you so much. Eric you say thank you so much. Tilly Watima Strong, thank you so much. Jeremy Bernard, thank you so much. Charles Jima, thank you so much. Frida Boache, me that say Abradu Kwame, thank you so much. Emmanuel Luther, me that say KB Mensa, me that say Apostle P, me that say Kwesi, me that say Shamdron, me that say Godfrey Uso, Donko, me that say Awuni Kofi, me that say make it make sense. Big shout out to you. Me that say Godfrey Opoku, me that say Godfrey Anoche, me that say Prince Maestro, me that say Emmanuel Sebi, me that say Alasan Adam, Deluxy, yeah, me that say Aguna Hene Kofi Adolfo, me that say Ivan Sata, thank you so much. Charity Apam or say me that say Robert Nana Asamoah, thank you so much. Mama share na mama shout out to Emmanuel Mama shout out to that. Patience Boa. As it Bua or Boa. Mambo ni abacha mi Patience. Bua. William Boateng, thank you so much. H. DV and you see H. Suleimani Ishmael, thank you so much. Godfrey Opoku, Kwade Ulupa. Lupa, where at town of Gamini, where na ba beta omunu Rati Boafo, thank you so much. Robert Nana Asamoah, Kofi Buedi Danso, Michael Sapon, thank you so much. Alexander Pimda, thank you so much. Wafa Kofi, me da say, Julius Nyangola, me that say, Mami ya, Ofebia, me that say, Mami, thank you so much for always supporting SBTV Africa, Mami, me that say, me share one of you, Kani K, me that say, Salam Haji, me that say, Patricia Santewa Poku, thank you so much. Prince Ohini, thank you. Kwesi Mensa, Owura Kweku, me that say, Truth Media GH, big shout out to you. Dixon Amankwa, me that say, and then last minute comments, questions I'm going to buy, and you better. Joseph upon, I'll type it back, what? And one, type in what between numbers. Aye. Now, man, say there are one comment, I will repeat it, I just back up, and yes, and so my baby brace, half payment, Mami Denta, so the Mami Denta. Anyway, also SBTV the best. Atike, thank you so much. And we now say, shout out to Mama Shane, big shout out to you. Because I'm supporting SBTV Africa Foundation. I mean, I do my 2024 more fire. Del Ali, thank you so much. Ni Amma Johnson, thank you so much. Godfrey said, you don't celebrate Christmas. Happy New Year. Johnson said two. Madam I say you video at all and I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor interview to Monsho or YouTube. Doctor UK Army. My name Obayi Mabi so Phyllis Mami Blank is it Blank say? Yeah. Powerful interviews and then YouTube channel anymore. Nti one subscribe you be miss. Mon try na mon supportive brand SBTV Africa. SBTV Africa Foundation. Me catch am say me adoma from next year no. Omo maka Gulf countries here starting with Egypt here ba kwa ba here be balance here payment be for 2. Here be ba mon supportive foundation no omo my stranded wo ni ade no. We are na dey near check other countries. Nti Ghanaians omo my stranded here started be more I say dey be ba intimi for me nyina more support into local feel na ma send mu ka we send ka na ya to ticket na organize overstay then no ma ka ticket na anyway aba sa no ma start bi wa am ba so at the end of the day no say mo guidelines bi ni ade no mo start bi wa akwantu no en kasa akwantu nyo tie me interviews nyina but me we it no be every country because of our movement bi ma agent be better down. It's only one way for them could do we ultimately say. Agent the product not on Obeka sweet things at all. Me one word they be assassin with Obeka sweet and all do I do which you say Opoka Kraji. Who could do but then Jobana. So Miss Row we took kwanya Obian can't say to going to Nangasano different culture near dear Usiande, but be winning. And you be an Obika so your own research. Internet no go be na read the be about corona share on minimum wage. On should be about them. And into these are programs when you are buying a baby brainy a bill money. Go your own way, real cash. The brace why a real cash on tea. A baby internet in do more. But share video na rural areas maybe or no more targeted. Also, no, what I brought you to play more because I'm not interview so person to play more. The play not to my own see play out there. Some of my people there play out there to play my own see. What I play, so to play no go. Miss Ramu. Anyway, nice one. Big up to you, Charlie. Ushamu Kruma. Kase tour ko YouTube me na mesno go ko YouTube page SVTV obo SVTV Africa same name option obo YouTube channel subscribe first send me our message you tap your doma no so na start to share videos ko videos obo hu till date videos e there ba me dem say kasa tour.
Welcome to Second Generation IT Group. Hello, my name is Ferdinand Samoa, Director of Second Generation IT Group. We've been in business for the past
Charlie daybreak, make we chop small. Delight cocoa.
Delight Cocoa, the authentic, original taste of African porridge. Available in all African and Caribbean shops. Delight Cocoa.
Living in Ghana, abroad, a first-timer visiting Ghana, or a company wondering where to get quality service providers in Ghana for any job, then Ejumapa On Demand Services is here to assist you. Ejumapa On Demand Services connect requesters and service providers such as masons, plumbers, electricians, auto repairers, home and office cleaners, trash collectors, rent agents, spa attendants, roofers, beauticians, teachers, CCTV installers, and all artisans on one platform. Yes, one platform. Trust Ejumapa On Demand Services to sort you out any day, anywhere, and at any time. To download the app, please visit the App Store and Play Store or visit our website www.ejumapa.com.
My name is Ferdinand Samoa, Director and CEO of Second Generation IT Group. Guess what? We are currently in Ghana and we're going to offer the best courses that will allow you to work anywhere in the world. The courses that we're going to offer, we're talking about cloud computing. We're talking about introduction to computers, networking, network security, cyber security.
We have a conducive learning environment and our programs are interactive. where the students get to ask questions and they get answers that's going to help them, and we equip them with the right knowledge.
Classes are offered Monday through Friday. It depends on which day you want to come. We have morning shift, we have afternoon schedule, we have evening schedule, and also on the weekends. To register, go to www.secondgenit.com and register.
My name is Calipos, the only boss with one S. Happy new month to all of you. Welcome to a month of new possibilities. Do you know why life has been made so easy? It's because of TapTapSend. People, TapTapSend is here to make your life easy if you want to transfer money to Ghana, if you want to transfer from USA, if you want to transfer from UK, Europe, Canada, a lot of places all to Ghana. And guess what? When it comes to Ghana, there's no e-levy charge. So, what are you waiting for? Download TapTapSend on Google Play Store and App Store and be ready for exciting offers coming your way each time, every time on TapTapSend.
TapTapSend. Send more, spend less.
She has a plan, a secret mission filled by gratitude and affection. She chooses her mother's favorite breakfast. Delight Foods, House Sakoko, a harmonious blend of flavors crafted with care and devotion. The taste of tradition and comfort. In that moment, their connection deepens, a bond strengthened by a shared experience. Delight Foods, House Sakoko, a delicious breakfast made with care and love in just 2 minutes.
Hi there, my name is Calipos, the only boss with one S. Happy new month to all of you. Welcome to a month of new possibilities. Do you know why life has been made so easy? It's because of TapTapSend. People, TapTapSend is here to make your life easy if you want to transfer money to Ghana, if you want to transfer from USA, if you want to transfer from UK, Europe, Canada, a lot of places all to Ghana. And guess what? When it comes to Ghana, there's no e-levy charge. So, what are you waiting for? Download TapTapSend on Google Play Store and App Store and be ready for exciting offers coming your way each time, every time on TapTapSend.
TapTapSend. Send more, spend